answering your questions. Let's answer your question. And this one, another very, very, very good question is how to connect with an avoidant. If your partner is dismissive, avoidant, how do you reach that person? How do you get through to them? And before I even give you, I've got 3 ways that might be able to help you out here. But this foundational way is going to help you the most. And that is, and it actually comes from my own tradition, and it's an Arabic saying, which is innama ma'al-biniya, which basically means that every single one of your actions is by your intention. So if you intend to connect with a dismissive avoidant, because in effect you need an emotional need met, you need an emotional need met, right? If that's your reason, it's not going to work. Right, it's just not going to work. You might as well go and say, look, I need some hug and TLC and some loving. Right? If you're doing it because you actually really want to connect with that person, then you need to go onto their map, onto their territory, and GPS using what they've got, right? Because otherwise you bring and superimpose your own, it's again not going to work. So the first thing is for that is the most obvious one, right? The most obvious one is to focus on non-emotional intimacy, right? I'm sorry. I know that some of you are like, oh, do I have to? But in order to connect with them, and this actually is one of the skills that anxious attachment actually really need to work on, right? They need to step out with a deeper, meaningful emotional intimacy and kind of work and diversify, I would say, their emotional intelligence and relationship skills. And so it's, going out and doing hobbies together, doing interests together, going on walks together, whatever the person enjoys, to really embrace those different things. And that for them feels that you're trying to connect with them, right? Without trying to get any payback. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is to really praise and appreciate their strengths and what they're bringing in. To be fair, every human being really likes that. But for an avoidant, where that's where they get their sense of meaning from, right? That's going to be something that's, I've said it twice, there's going to be something that really helps you to deeply connect with them. And they feel that, that their sense of self just explodes, especially if their partner sees them in such a positive light, okay? And then finally, this is going to again be a difficult one for my anxious attachment peeps, is to give them freedom and space. They really gravitate towards a lot of space, and just like anxious attachment really need connection, avoidance really need, and I'm not going to use the word disconnection because that's not fair. They're not trying to disconnect with you. They just really gravitate towards time alone and independence, right? And so giving them that is an acknowledgement that this is something they need. And because then that, the net effect of you appreciating that and allowing that, because you're going to have to allow it either happily or not, really, is going to get them to kind of reconnect with you, because it feels safe with you that they can be all these other things in and around you. And the whole thing with that, the net effect might be that that person then opens up to you more emotionally as well. So those are the 3 things that will really help you to connect with an avoidant. And again, if you are an avoidant, any ideas about what would really help somebody to connect with you and what's helped you in the past? And if you're dating or with an avoidant, then how have you connected with them? Comment below and let me know.